studio today was like blaring. It's like off the
I know,
charts.
it's loud.
Good morning to you, Tiff. You look gorgeous in your floral blouse.
Thank you. So do you. I'm loving the hair today, Mal.
Oh.
Looks good on you.
Thank you. Thank you. Coming
You're
from you, that
welcome.
means a lot because I admire the way you style your hair every day. And you can do it fast, too.
Let's just spend every morning with compliments back and forth.
Yeah, I'm sure people love that. Oh, here they go again.
It's like, this is what happens when you don't see your best friends. You know, the first time you see them, you're just like, oh, look at you. You look so different.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally took it for granted that I got to see you in person and talk to you every day.
I know. I think we all did. We're learning to be grateful for so much more. You know, it's interesting. I was just talking to a bunch of my friends who are teachers because many of them are back in the classroom doing some sort of hybrid or working with stuff. And it got me thinking about teachers in general. And I just wondered, like, if you, because I think about the teachers I've had in my life growing up. I had incredible teachers. I had 3 male teachers that truly, like, changed the course of my life, I think, in high school. And I wondered if you had a teacher like that, too.
I did. You know, it's interesting. Grade school, especially in high school, like you, one in college, and I'll tell that story. But in some ways, some of the things I think teachers taught me were less about the academics of something and more about life lessons. And I think you know what I'm talking about. My story is related to that. Do you have one you want to share about a teacher that comes to mind in particular?
Yeah, I mean, my teacher, I had one that taught me how to draw. The only reason I draw to this day and paint is because I had one teacher. Another that literally acted like a surrogate father. But the one that I wanted to tell you about today, it was actually my drama teacher, because I don't think people knew this. I was a very shy kid. And even though I was in, you know, sports and drama and music and all that, I was deathly afraid of performing in front of people. You know this about me. And so when I would practice speech, normally you would have to have somebody watch it, right? Well, I was deathly afraid of people to watch me. So he would actually turn around and let me perform to his back.
Did he eventually turn to face you?
No, I wouldn't let him. Never before a competition, because during a competition you did have to perform to judges. But no, he knew I was terrified of it. So he would literally just listen to me. And so I don't know if like he could see a reflection so he could watch some of my gestures or whatever, but I ended up going to state that year and taking 4th in state. So you know what? It worked.
You go, girl. I love that story. And I think for all of us, overcoming some fear of performing is huge. My teacher was, I had, like I said, many, but there's one in college in particular. So I was at Madison, later went to the University of Missouri where I got my journalism degree. And I had this advisor, so all of the professors also worked in the field, had to be actively engaged in broadcast journalism in this case. He was also my advisor, and I will add, I babysat for his 2 kids. So he trusted me. I admired him, looked up to him, and as I was preparing to graduate, my final session with him, he said to me, I think it's going to be tough for you to make it in this business. And I said,
Can you believe it?
The shock, the horror that went through my mind is hard to describe. And I said, why would you say that? I mean, I got the first A in investigative journalism, and that's not to brag, but it was like I was doing well in school. And he said, I just don't think there's anything about you that stands out from the crowd. And
do you know what I think?
What?
I think because you were babysitting for his kids, because he knew you that well, maybe he knew how to really motivate you, because clearly it did.
Yeah, it did motivate me. I think he was giving me what he thought was just a tough dose of truth serum. In the end, it's funny because of my entire graduating broadcast journalism class, there are only 2 of us still working in the business. So at least I stuck it out a long time. But I think that story is fascinating because it did inspire me. It kind of had like the opposite effect. Rather than bringing me down, it motivated me to be like, I'll show him.
I love it. I just think, I mean, the way that people and teachers know how to work with people, I don't know. You never know. Maybe it was just that he knew that would light a fire under you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, perhaps. Yeah, he eventually went on to work for a consulting agency and actually placed me from a job in Texas to a New York Times station, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, it's our sound off question today. Tell us about the teacher who inspired you the most. I want you to talk about the real meaning of dating, because you and I talk about this all the time. There's a great article about dating these days means, seeing someone, hanging out, going out. But they said the definition is very clear. The definition of dating shows us that there is a difference between dating someone and just dating, because dating means you're going out on dates. Whereas if you're dating someone, you're actively spending time with someone, getting to know them with the intention of potentially having a long-term commitment.
I call that seeing someone, but yes, I mean, it's all semantics, right? At the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's, what are you going to call it? If you're
Okay.
seeing someone, you're seeing someone.
All right, I just have to share this because I think it's so hilarious. This is the word that my kids use and young people, and maybe you use this too because you're younger than me. It's a thing. Do you use that? It's a thing?
No.
Okay, so this is how my kids...
Does that mean that they're a couple?
No, this is what they said. And I wrote this down because I thought it was so funny when my daughter said it. She said, a thing is when you're seeing someone and hanging out, but you're not going to use an extreme label like dating.
Okay, so my joke always was that I had 5 levels of dating. First you're friends, then you're hanging out, then you're dating, then you're seeing each other, then it's your boyfriend.
Oh, okay. So do that one more time. First you're hanging out.
First you're friends, then you're hanging out, then you're dating, then you're seeing each other, then it's your boyfriend.
There you go. You got to go through a lot of paces to be Tiffany's boyfriend, that's for sure. All right, it's good stuff. I love the conversations about dating.